So last night I got a chance to watch Slik Talk and Cassper Nyovest, and man, listen, it's nice to see these guys doing this again. Slik Talk did not prepare well for this fight. There is no way that someone who had a month of preparation for a boxing fight, even a week of preparation for a boxing fight, can look like that in the ring. It does not happen like that. There is no way. And Slik Talk did not prepare for this fight for a number of reasons. I don't think him, after talking that much shit, to Cassper Nyovest, I mean, he was the one doing the trash talking. I think personally, I think Slik Talk was the one who was selling the fight more than he was doing his fair share of selling the fight more than Cassper Nyovest. And Cassper Nyovest, I mean, he has the following, so everything that he says, people will get it. But Slik Talk did his fair share of promoting the fight on his channel, always talking about the fight, with the trash talk and preparing and trying to get the fight out there, for sponsors. And you have to give Slik Talk credit for that, and you have to give Slik Talk credit for showing up, and you have to give him credit for making this happen. If it wasn't for Slik Talk, none of this would have happened, and it has opened many possibilities for a lot more fights. So we have to appreciate Slik Talk for that. But Slik Talk did not prepare well for this fight, and he did not prepare well for this fight for a number of reasons. Remember, boxing is expensive. Preparing for boxing is expensive. The camps are expensive, but in this case they didn't need the camps. But still, boxing is expensive. I know, because I wanted to get into boxing. I tried so hard, I trained, and the only thing that was a drawback was affording the trainings, affording the coaches, affording the trainers. So I think that's where Slik Talk also hit a brick wall, because he is a student. He doesn't have enough money to hire a trainer and a coach to help him prepare for the fight. Meanwhile, Cassper Nyovest has all of that and prepared a couple of combinations, but Slik Talk did not have that luxury. That's why the fight turned out this way. Slik Talk did not prepare, couldn't afford to prepare. I don't think Slik Talk could talk that much shit and go to the ring. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't add up. The way he was fighting, everything is off. The way he was standing, the way he was throwing punches. Slik Talk couldn't even throw punches. I don't think he landed a punch on Cassper. So he couldn't throw punches. He couldn't defend himself well. He couldn't move in the ring. He didn't even use his hands to protect himself. He did not have the stance of a boxer. I mean, there's a lot more that was missing. There was a lot more missing in Slik's performance, which shows that he did not get the proper training for this fight. And should have Cassper given him that? I don't think that's Cassper's responsibility. And also, people on Slik's corner, on Slik Talk's corner, who the hell are those people? When those people training him for the past week, and he just didn't get enough preparation, and that's why the fight turned out this way. And I think Slik would want a rematch and to prepare well this time and for a lot more money. I think he deserves that, because he is the one who made all of this happen. So he really does deserve that there's a second chance. Cassper should give him a second chance. And something that I'm happy about is the possibilities of a lot more celebrity fights. That's beautiful to see that, man. I'm very interested in most of the fights, and I'm looking forward to most of the fights. And I appreciate Cassper Nyovest for opening this possibility, these opportunities for a lot more fun. There is something different, something amazing, something we can talk about, something we can watch. So I appreciate Cassper Nyovest for that, and he really did well. Him and Slik Talk, they did very well. So there's going to be Cassper Nyovest and Knack Music. I'm looking forward to that fight also, and I like Knack Music, but I'm on Cassper's corner this time. I was on Slik's corner because he needed the money, but this time around, Knack Music is a BMW driver, and I don't like BMW or BMW drivers, but I don't have a problem with the guy. But I'm on Cassper Nyovest's corner this time. But here's something that I would like these guys to see. These guys to specifically Cassper Nyovest. Here's something that I would like Cassper Nyovest to consider. Making a fight after 4 months or 5 months is too long. I mean, they can make something else in between. And after 2 months, you can make Prince KB versus AKA or Prince KB versus Slik Talk. And then, like, for example, end of February, you make Prince KB versus someone else. And then end of April, you make, the Cassper and Nut Music fight. Every 2 months, you give us a fight so that we stay glued and then the people stay interested. And the Cassper Nyovest versus AKA fight would be big. I think locally that can be a first money fight ever in South Africa, and it's possible it can happen if only the guy is interested. But making the fight after 6 months is a bit too long. I know the boxers have to prepare, but remember, you're not preparing for 12 rounds, you're preparing for 6 rounds, and this 3 rounds thing must end. You're preparing for 6 rounds or 8 rounds. I think people would be much more interested if there's a fight every 2 months. Remember, the boxing is young, or celebrity boxing in South Africa is young and it's new. People will forget. If you make it a regular thing, if you make it something that 2 months time this can happen, people will stay interested, and I think sponsors as well will stay interested. I think you should try by all means to avoid what's happening in the United States. If you have only two fights in a year, because people fight after 6 months, after 5 months, after 4 months, which means you are only going to be able to have 2 fights in a year. If you have 2 fights in a year, people forget. Look at how many Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. It took for them close to 10 years while preparing for the fight before the fight could happen. Look at Khabib versus Tony Ferguson. Because every time when the fight was postponed, it was 6 months. After 6 months, they'll say, okay, the fight will happen in January. Something will happen. Okay, Dana White will say the fight will happen in September. In September, something happens. The fight automatically jumps into the next year. Those guys, they didn't fight for over 2, 3, I think even 4 years when they were scheduled to fight, when they were supposed to fight. There's a lot more in boxing, especially overseas, where fighters who are supposed to fight don't fight for so long, for a decade, because of this thing of pushing fights further out. 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. We will fight in September. We will fight in, I think, 2 months, 3 months, because it's a celebrity fight. It's not professional. We are hoping for the entertainment. You guys are the entertainers, so we are hoping for that. I think it will turn out much better. The event itself was a bit disorganized, but for the first event, I don't have a problem. The event was a bit disorganized. It was a bit off. It was just like a corner shop event. I think the second one, the one with Nut Music and Cassper, I think it will be much more organized, and I'm looking forward to it. So instead of putting Sol Penduga there and Slik, just get Robert Marawa to do something for free and get someone else. And instead of getting that the guy who was announcing in the ring, that guy is a bit off. He's dead. No ring announcer is like that. So get rid of that guy who was announcing in the ring. Get someone who's full of life, someone who knows these guys. The person who was announcing in the ring, it felt like he didn't know the people at all. The guys who he was announcing, he did not know them at all. I mean, I would have done a better job, because Slik Talk, Cassper Nyovest. The person who was doing that, the guy in the ring, the old man in the ring, I'm sure he's important somewhere else, and I would not disrespect him. But the job he had was to hype up the event, and he actually killed it. Sol Penduga and Slika, they are not fit for the job. I love Sol Penduga. He's great at the podcast, and he's amazing. And Slika's a good musician, and the other guy, I don't know. Those guys, they are not fit to be commentating a fight. You should try and get Robert Marawa, like I said, and then someone else, and maybe another celeb who's interested in boxing, who loves boxing, and then it would turn out really well. I think celebrity boxing, even in South Africa, it can go very, very far. I think it can go very far and make these guys a lot more money. Because after the Nak Music and Cassper fight, the AKA and Cassper Nyovest fight, definitely that's a money fight. It will go into the millions. Those guys will make millions. The brands are going to be there. I'm going to be there. I'm going to take my girlfriend there. My friends are going to be there. A lot more people are going to be there because that will be a much more serious fight. That will be a fight where there's a promotion, where they can go around talking trash and then promoting the fight. I think that's the fight that will appear on the news, and I think those guys, they can do it. The event yesterday, the event was a bit poor, of which is understandable for the first event. But the fight was great. And if Slik Talk, man, I think there are some trainers out there who would like to train Slik Talk for free and prepare him for the next fight. And I think there's surely someone who should just come up and say, you know what, Slik, let me train you for free so that you can get revenge on Cassper Nyovest. And this time around, you go for 500,000. This time around, you opt for 1 million. If you win, if you stay in the ring with Cassper Nyovest for the whole fight, 6 or 8 rounds, ask for 1 million so that the fight can be, can be bigger. The event can become much bigger. I think it can happen. But otherwise, man, I'm proud of these guys. I'm looking forward to the rematch between Slik Talk and Cassper Nyovest. I'm looking forward to a better Slik Talk next time. I know Slik Talk. I think he can do it. I think he can become much better. I think he can prepare. I think someone will train him well. I think he will go all out so that he can redeem himself. I remember in MMA there was a fight between Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor. And Conor McGregor destroyed Dustin in a few minutes. But Dustin made sure that he prepared himself. He got better so that next time when he sees Conor McGregor, he's actually okay. And Dustin went on to beat Conor McGregor twice. He went back, refined himself, prepared himself well, and then he came back to beat Conor McGregor twice. So I think Slik Talk, the way he went out, no man wants to go out like that. So Slik Talk will go home and then prepare himself well. Man, I can even help if he's interested in someone who train him for free. Anyway, but I think a couple of guys will train Slik Talk for the rematch. And I'm also looking forward to Cassper and Nak Music, and I'm on Cassper's side on this one. And I can't wait for the big money fight, AKA and Cassper Nyovest. I'm looking forward to all those fights. Otherwise, I'm proud of Slik Talk and Cassper Nyovest. This was amazing, and you're not waiting for the government. You're doing this shit on your own, and that's amazing.